Hello, my name is Zagams, and for those of you who don't know me, I have been a webcomic creator for the past 6 years and counting. And in that time, I've learned a lot about the webcomic creating process, things not to do, ways to improve, and I figured I could share some of that knowledge with other creators. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I will be reviewing The Sun is the Moon's Dream by hana-nana, 1999, Canada. When Mina moves around the world to live with her aunt in a small town, at the end of a train line, she just wants to get her GED, erase her past, and never return home. But the town is full of old families and secrets and strange and charming men, with glowing eyes, who never walk beneath the sun. And they are more than willing to ensure she never goes home again. Only a small, tiny price to pay their devotion. As always, I will not be spoiling the story, since the goal of the series is to give advice to creators and also hopefully get some new eyes on their comic. I want people to check it out for themselves. There will be links, as always, in the description. Warnings, this is a bit more of a mature comic, so if you can't handle violence and blood and things like that, maybe skip this one. Reasons unknown to us readers, Nina arrives after a long day, if not weeks, of travel, and is greeted at the train station by no one, none of her loved ones. Her aunt can't even be bothered to pick her up. Love this panel, by the way, with directions behind. It's so fucking clever. Her walk to her aunt's house is empty and lonely. She's the only one out there in a seemingly cold time of night. And her aunt is only just as cold to her when she arrives. Perhaps Mina isn't very much wanted by her family, further isolating our character. In the daytime, Mina works as a hospice worker, or an old folks' home worker. Forgive me if I'm wrong, I may have missed this somewhere in the story, if it was said directly or not. And our girl Mina, she could use some bedside manner, which I love a bitchy character. I don't think everyone needs to be unproblematic or perfect. I think it's way more interesting when characters are a bit of an ass. At night, Mina is working hard to get her GED. Though she doesn't seem like she's like the best student, she's unorganized and frantic. Bitch girl, same, I get it. But that's where I stop for the spoilers. And if you want to see more, you're into this whole supernatural, mysterious, absolutely be up your alley. It's so good. Time for my personal favorite part of these reviews, when I get to gush about art. I love your art style. It's so cozy to me in this old Sunday morning cartoons kind of way. There's something about your art style that reminds me of old Halloween specials, or even Zorro comics from back in the day. The heavy shading and the color palette are very reminiscent to me of the old Zorro comics. This panel in particular, I think, is my favorite out of the ones that I saw. I don't know what it is, if this is like a premonition or if it's meant to just be a nightmare. But there's just something about this established shot and the framing. It's very powerful, and the atmosphere in this, I think, helps set tone for your comic as to what people are going to see. I think your background work is solid. As someone who struggles with backgrounds, I am in awe. They blend really well with your characters, but not in a way that you lose the character in the scene. They look like they belong there. Subtle ways in which you world build, from the missing persons flyers plastered all over the city, or this other scene where there's gum stuck under the desk. It really adds to the world and makes it feel lived in. As for characters, I must say I adore Mina. Her seemingly unkempt hair is so rebellious in a very unique way that makes her a standout character. I think that She is endearing, even if she has a colder outer shell. She has conviction. Incident with her aunt and uncle goes down. Spoilers, not really going to get into that, but if you know, you know. She seems also very genuinely lost with herself, lost in her routine, the endless rinse repeat of work, school, work, school. And I think it's a very relatable way that we all feel. Onto where I could see some improvement, I think your pacing could use some work. I would say pacing is what people seem to struggle with the most when they first start a comic. It's something all novice creators struggle with. I know I did, and sometimes still do. These panels confused me. It's just, is it a way to break up the episode? Is it just a way to showcase your art? I would put these at the end of the episode, personally, just because it is a little jarring with the flow. There's this moment with, I believe his name is Aru, where we have this, I think it's supposed to be a flashback, but on like the first time I read it, I thought it was like a premonition sort of thing. It kind of confused me, but upon second reading, I believe it's a flashback. I think that there's an easier way to establish a flashback. Obviously, all artists are going to do what they want most with how they want to portray stuff. I find that when you're portraying a flashback, it helps to blur the edges a little bit just so people kind of can see, oh, this is a memory, it's a little fuzzy, things could be off. Seems like you did a little bit here, but it confused me the first time I read it, which is okay. These things happen. People are going to get confused with your story sometimes. I think another area that could help with your pacing is to let your characters linger in a situation for a little bit longer before saving them. Let your readers have that tension build up, because the tension is cut and undermined kind of immediately. You want to have that because it's a mystery, supernatural story. I've built up really good tension with these panels, and I think that it's great. And I think you should have ended it here. You solved the issue too quickly. Honestly, I think that you could benefit from learning where to put a good cliffhanger. Having a good cliffhanger encourages the reader to come back again because they want to figure out what happened to these characters that they like. Don't be afraid of cliffhangers. They are your friend. I know they suck when you're the one who's enjoying them, but they are good as a device to have your readers come back for more. Overall, I think your story is very interesting. There is something about it that I still find just so cozy. I think it's perfect for like the spooky month that's coming up. I think that the clothes your characters wear are so unique and is so tasty and delicious. Fun to look at. I would often kind of have to reread chapters just because I got wrapped up in looking at your characters, which is not the worst thing. They're very fun. A great story. I'm interested to see where it leads. I would like to thank hana-nana for submitting their comic. And if you would like to check out hana-nana, find their story, Sun is the Moon's Dream, in the links again in the description. That's it for today's episode. If you have a comic that you would like reviewed, please leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, it won't take me so long to get to the next one. Bye!